emergency. He has got assault police marker.
Vehicle's stopped.
Get it off! Get it off! Give me your hands!
On the floor now!
North Yorkshire's traffic cops.
Crash, 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 crash.
140 mile an hour. How stupid are you?
Driving down crime in England's largest county.
Don't lie to me.
Stone.
Across 3,000 square miles.
Your vehicle's been stolen by an ambulance heading towards.
Dealing with danger on the roads.
What the bloody hell are you doing?
Bailey's trapped in the vehicle upside down.
Under pressure.
Go over there and I will speak to you.
Come on, mate, talk to us.
Out! You're under arrest. Do not move.
And at risk.
Tell me what I can't see!
Right, you're under arrest.
What's up? Right, you've had enough.
That's serious organised crime level.
No strikes, mate. You're going to go to prison.
Around every corner,
He's going to kill somebody.
Why haven't you stopped?
there's a new challenge. For the traffic cops.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
Keep an eye on him.
Coming up. Repeat offenders back on the road.
What's up? What's up?
Keep your hands where they are.
Caught with something to hide.
Right, can we get somebody to his home address ASAP? He's shouting and screaming to get somebody there, so I'm guessing he's got something in the house.
No more strikes, mate. You're going to go to prison.
No!
And drunk drivers.
No!
Listen.
Can you get off me, please?
I'm not getting off you because you're
Please.
not complying with us.
Making the same mistake again.
She's blown 135. That's getting on for 3.5 times over the drink drive limit.
I'd hate to think what it'd be like if children were out in the street playing. It'd be horrendous.
Send to Mike November units if you could start making your way, please. We have a report of a 3-vehicle collision.
Yeah, 10-4.
North Yorkshire Police deal with 1,200 calls a day.
A vehicle has just crashed into a parked car and a neighbour's car was forced.
Many are from members of the public with a tip-off.
Gone off into the house and seen somewhere.
Have we got any details, description?
Possibly a black Volkswagen, possibly a female driver.
I will be there as soon as possible. We're currently on the way to a failed to stop RTC. One of the vehicles has made off into a local housing estate. Could be maybe a drink driver.
PC Mike Rowan is the nearest officer to where the car was last seen.
It's beer garden weather outside at the moment, so it increases the chances that we might have been down a local pub, having a few drinks, and then they've got back in the car to drive back home. Oh, someone out here.
This is owned by someone that's currently in York on the way back, and the silver one ahead is this couple here.
Okay, so they weren't in the car?
No one's in the car, no one's injured.
It's a quiet street. I'd hate to think what it'd be like if children were out in the street playing. It'd be horrendous if there was children involved.
After smashing into 2 parked cars, witnesses claim the driver fled the scene to a house around the corner.
Right, where are we going then?
We're round the bends first.
Right. Do we know what car it was? Was it a black?
It's like a VW estate, got the register.
What arms he made off?
Yep.
It's not elaborated to what the arms is.
Hello.
Rang me as the nice son's girl.
Tell you what, put a dog away in the garden for us.
Come on.
And then we can have a chat with you rather than outwit dog barking.
Yeah, she just rang me.
Right.
My son's on his way back from France. He's been to watch the rugby.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, she was driving through the estate and obviously lost control, whatever, and smashed into the car.
Yeah, do you want to get her to come out here?
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
stop there. Go on.
Quite a bit of damage to the front.
Yeah, she's in a bit of a state.
Rather than
Hello,
anything.
sir.
Yeah, all right. I won't shake your hand because of COVID
Oh,
and everything
COVID
like
and all
that.
that,
Yeah.
What's your name?
Sergeant Stagg.
Hello, Sergeant.
All right. The reason why we've come round is to have a chat with you about road traffic collision.
Yes.
All right. First of all, were you driving the car involved?
No, my nephew was driving the car.
Your nephew was driving the car, right? Okay. And how old is your nephew?
22.
22.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. Where's your nephew now?
Oh, it's just...
Okay. Right. My concern is, from all the information that we've been given, is that they've identified a female as driving. I don't want you to be lying to me, because if you are, then I'm going to have to consider potentially locking you and nephew up.
Of course, and my nephew.
Yeah,
Thank you.
right, okay. So, despite your claims that your nephew were driving, the information that I've been given, I suspect it was you who was driving.
Okay.
So, are you happy to provide a sample of breath?
I'm so happy.
Okay,
Can I just speak
right.
to my... Can I speak to you?
Still though. Yeah. Pop yourself to the car and then we'll do a breath test.
I'm just
I
gonna
can't-
go
you
with
can't go
cameras.
back inside.
No.
Back inside.
Why?
You're gonna get
You've got to go with. You've got to go
No,
with.
excuse me, no.
Listen, right.
No.
Listen. Let me explain to you.
No,
Right.
I'm
Just stand there
sorry,
for a
can I
second.
just go and sort my dog out?
Not at the moment.
Right. Listen to me.
Calm down.
I'm not panicking. I'm
Right.
fine.
Yes,
I
yes,
just want to
stop
go and
it.
sort my dog out and I'll go for a week.
Your dog's fine, right? You can't go for a wee.
Why? Why?
Right. Listen, right? Listen to me, right? You've agreed to complete these tests.
No!
Right. Go on.
You need to calm down.
Please.
At the moment, all we're...
I need to speak to my partner.
Yeah.
No!
Listen.
Can you get off me, please?
I'm not getting off you because you're not
Please.
complying with us. Pop yourself
Please.
over there just so we can have a chat with her.
Please.
At the
Right,
moment,
listen. If you are going to fight with us, then I've got no option but to lock you up.
Right, that's
All right?
fine. Yeah.
Okay?
So
Right.
can you
Sit
just
yourself
let
in
go
the
of me?
car.
you sit in the
Sit-
car. we'll
No,
let go of it.
can I just...
I've
cannot
taken
go back
hands off
there.
you.
That's fine.
Sit
that's
yourself
fine.
in the car.
So,
Sit yourself in the car for us. And then let's do
we'll
it
do
one
the
step at a
test.
time.
If the tests are all negative, then you can go back and speak to whoever you need to speak to and sort
Yeah.
your dog out, can't you?
I
But at
just
the
want
moment,
to speak
you
to my
can't.
partner. That's
I
all
appreciate
want to
that,
do.
but at the
I
moment,
get
you
that.
can't.
At the moment, you're not going to speak to your partner. He's not. I've been told that he's not even in the country. Or he's
No,
in.
he's in
not-
France.
Yeah. See,
So
we
can I
can't.
get a glass of water?
Not at the
No.
moment.
Sit yourself in the car. Let's do one step at a time. First of all, we need to do these tests. Drunk people aren't always the easiest of people to deal with. They don't rationalise in the same way that sober people do. So sometimes it can be quite difficult to manage their behaviour. They just lose that ability to deal with what's actually happening in their lives. Okay, have you done one of these before?
Yes,
You have.
many times.
Okay, so blow. Keep going, 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 and keep going, and stop. Right, you have failed the roadside breath
I know.
test. So, at this moment in time, you are under arrest on suspicion of driving a motor vehicle whilst over prescribed limit for
Please,
alcohol.
can I just see... Can I see my father-in-law, please?
Bear with.
Please, that's all I'm asking. 'cause
Just,
he's a...
I'm getting fed up of having to repeat myself. One step at a time. You are under arrest. You are staying in this car.
I don't give a shit if I'm under arrest, but...
We'll give her a few minutes to calm down. She's blown 135, so that's getting on for 3.5 times over the drive limit. It's a lot.
Shut the door now.
It's all right, we're going to be moving you into the back of this van now anyway.
No, you're not going to put me in a van. My
There's
God.
no need for you to swear, is there?
I know there's no
I have
need
not
for-
sworn
I
at
know
you,
haven't.
so
I'm
don't
sorry.
swear at me.
I'm so sorry. I have no decorum at this moment in time. I've just been caught out and I'm so sorry.
Right.
I apologise sincerely.
Okay, I'm going to ask you again, who was driving that car?
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
No.
Right. I feel angry towards drink drivers because it's known by everybody that drink driving is unacceptable. Under no circumstances should they be getting behind the wheel of a car. You all right, mate? All right, okay. So your mum's been arrested for drink driving.
Yes.
All right. So she's coming to the police station with us.
Yeah.
She's likely going to be there for much longer now because she's claiming that she didn't want driving. Loads of people have said that they've seen her driving. Yeah. So she's doing the wrong thing by doing that. She's going to be kept in for longer. Yeah. But yeah, it's not going to be a quick thing if she's disputing it. Yeah. Speaking to the family, she has some historical issues.
All right, so don't worry about that.
I feel sorry for her family in these circumstances as well. She's taken this bad course of action today by getting behind the wheel and crashing into 2 cars.
Right, you need to come out. You need to
Come out, so I put the cuffs back on.
I won't speak to my boyfriend.
Well, you're not speaking to your boyfriend,
Right,
end of
come here.
story.
Right, come on, out you come.
No! Chance! No! No!
Her son's turned up, having to watch her get locked up. And she had to be forcibly restrained to stop her from escaping.
Stop it!
Just move your hand for me.
I'm trying to!
Yeah.
It won't be sorted out.
Right, relax your right arm for us so we can get the cuff on so we don't hurt you.
I'll put your eyes out.
You're only making it harder for yourself.
I'm trying to.
Alcohol doesn't just affect that person, it affects their family, their friends, their relationships. It also affects their work, their ability to go and function day to day. A lot of people can't even hold a conversation whilst drunk. Right, up yourself in, watch your head.
The woman will be taken into custody for an evidential breath test.
135 blown at the roadside is very high reading, certainly for heart-free, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. She's had quite a few. It's almost an everyday occurrence where we're dealing with some kind of drink driving offence. We often encounter people who see it as being acceptable to get in their car and drive to the pub and then drive home again after having a couple of pints. The consequences of that can be catastrophic.
Sit up now. Sit up now. There you are.
Coming up,
If you've chucked something in, you tell us, otherwise you'll all be arrested.
a drug driver.
You were driving like an idiot, you've had drugs on you, and your pupils are that wide, mate, I can't see the rest of your eyes.
Keeps putting lives at risk.
Any more strikes, mate, you're going to go to prison.
He's excess speed, he's all over the road.
And a dangerous driver
Right, let me tell you something.
refuses to listen.
When you're told to stop by the police, you pull over and stop. You don't just keep going. You don't want it like that, mate.
The male that's insured on this vehicle, he's got a marker on the Intel marker that he has got connection with dealing drugs.
Looking for a Skoda Fabia with his headlight out.
Traffic cops Gav Pearson and Dan Stoppard are heading out to patrol near York.
We've received some information about a car that's linked to a male that is involved in Class A drugs, believed to be in the Selby area. It's been sighted driving around there, so we're just making our way to that location, see if we can see the car and get it stopped.
So it's coming in and out of here. I'm just waiting to see if it comes. Just going to sit down here, mate. Should be fairly easy to spot.
Drug drivers are a massive problem. I don't think the public fully realise how much it goes off. We're regularly dealing with them, day in, day out.
Yeah. Romeo 2-1. It's failing to stop, mate. Romeo 2-1.
Is it going?
Yeah.
We're going into McDonald's.
2-1, we've got contact with that Skoda.
Going into McDonald's.
To the McDonald's retail park. Go in there.
Before he gets to that car.
Get it, mate. Sorry, mate. Sorry, you get him.
He's getting something in that car. Right, come here.
What's up? What's up?
Keep your hands where they are.
What?
Keep your hands where they are.
What are you doing?
Get under him.
What? I ain't done
Get out of him, he's dumped something in car.
Whoa! Mate.
What's he chucked in car?
On the floor.
You'll all get locked up if he's chucked something in. Step out of that car.
Breathe, mate. I can't breathe.
Step out of there.
Right, I'm just going to put the cuffs on you. Just stay where you are.
Back, cocker.
Bring my mum.
Oi, no, you listen.
Sit up now.
Stand here.
Sit up now.
Winded me, mate.
There you are.
If you chuck something in, you tell us. Otherwise, you'll all be arrested and taken through. Where's the wallet?
Yeah. All right,
There you go.
card.
You're under arrest on
listen
suspicion
to
of
me.
possession of a Class A substance, all right?
Right, yeah.
That's the very first thing.
Right.
Stand up. Yeah, is there a job on?
Tell my mum, please. You need to tell me what they've been arrested again for nothing.
12-24, can we get somebody to his home address ASAP? He's shouting and screaming to get somebody there, so I'm guessing he's got something in the house.
What's his home address?
Please.
Okay, I'll tell her, I will.
Yeah, stand by.
Because he's under arrest, he's not allowed to speak to anybody. He might be trying to get somebody to dispose of or conceal other evidence.
I'm going to have a look through your car fully.
42, yes, if you could make your way, please.
Control has dispatched officers to check the driver's mum's address.
Got the power to search property in connection with the offence for which this lad's been locked up for, so technically we'd have a powers of force entry, but hopefully we can explain everything to them.
A few miles away, Chris Story and David Minto arrive at another address linked to the driver.
Hello, good evening. Sorry to come so late. Can I come in and have a chat with you? Is that okay? Thank you very much. The reason that we're here is because we've arrested somebody. Is he living here at the minute? Yes, okay. We are going to be conducting a search of your property, okay?
As officers carry out searches, back in the car park, evidence against the driver is stacking up.
Got a drug test as well, Dan?
I have, yeah.
He obviously dumped something in the car when we've come here, so we've got some drugs in the wallet. So that's the main thing. That's a good thing to recover. A lot of empty bags, so he's obviously got a problem. We all residue in them for Class A. Looks to be cocaine. And then just one small rock of cocaine.
Because you've been driving, all right, the speed you were driving, I'm going to require you to provide me a specimen of saliva for testing at the roadside. All right, so for drugs tests. All right, and your pupils are quite wide.
Right.
Have you used either cannabis or cocaine or any other drugs?
No.
No.
But I'm not doing it because they know I'm a heavy user and I'm not doing it.
That's fine. If you don't do it,
right,
refusal is an offence.
Right.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
So you're refusing to do a roadside specimen?
What for? Because you've read my records?
No.
Yeah.
Because you were driving like an idiot, you've had drugs on you, and your pupils are that wide, mate, I can't see the rest of your eyes.
Well, that's
so I suspect you to be under the influence of a drug. If you're not, then there's no issues with doing it, is there? So are you going to do the preliminary test or not?
I just don't understand why I'm going through all this again.
The question is, are you prepared to do the preliminary test? Thank you. If all I was going to ask you to do is just take a seat in there. Pop your legs in.
Oh, mate.
You ever done this before?
Yeah, I have, and I passed 3 of them.
Just open your mouth for us. Stick your tongue out. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Put that on there.
The way you drove away from us, mate, absolutely ridiculous. Have you been drug tested before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're waiting for results then. Yeah. All right, this is going to be second hit, innit? So, second strike this, cocker.
I've been sleeping in my car. Because I've been having a really hard time. I've got no one. I don't have anyone.
Right, it's been 11 minutes. All right, I'll show you the kit, because I don't know if you've seen these before. The line there that shows it positive for cocaine. Right. Okay, so apart from the being arrested on suspicion of possession with intent to supply a Class A drug, you're also being arrested on suspicion of driving whilst the proportion of a specified drug, namely cocaine, exceeds a specified limit. All right?
Any more strikes, mate, you're going to go to prison.
You can see he's panicking. He's just overwhelmed in his own self-pity, and he feels wronged. He's trying to blame everything else on his situation. He made the choice to turn around and take drugs. He made the choice to carry drugs around. He made the choice to drive that car. And he needs to wake up to that fact.
Literally, right, at Christmas, I was bad on it, mate.
Yeah, but it don't matter.
I know that, and I know that, and I know.
Still using and driving. You're still using and driving, that's the problem.
I haven't used it today, I have not used it today.
Well, it's come back pretty solid.
I know, but I used it. Can I just speak to literally like in private?
No.
Because we've got no.
No, you're not speaking in private. You're already in trouble. Don't get her in it.
Get her involved in it.
Well, you did straight away when you're saying ring your mum and stuff like that. So chill out. Leave her out of it. You've got serious coke habit, lad. Haven't you?
I know I've messed up, and I know I go to it to clear my head.
No, don't clear your head, mate, because it makes you feel up and then it makes you feel down and makes you feel like you are now, because you'll feel crap after it. That's the problem.
The dog searched the car and has found no indication of any other drugs in there, but I am sure that we'll see this car again in the near future.
Rolling out with no on roof.
As the driver is taken to custody, Chris and David finish their house searches.
Are we happy that we done her room?
Yeah, we've searched that top and bottom negative, and he sleeps there. He just brings sort of limited belongings, what he needs, and then disappears. They don't see a huge amount of him, and we've looked at obviously the shared facilities, but it is a negative.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, mate. Sounds ideal. Thanks for that.
To actually get these people, it's more of a passion, to be honest. Every Bobby loves to get those jobs. When you get them in cuffs and you find the evidence, it's absolutely fantastic, and you know you've done a good job for the public.
Extend to Oscar Romeo units, just heading for the A1 southbound. Getting reports of a collision now. That's A1 southbound services, please.
Yeah, received. I'm going to try and do the best I can time-wise, but weather conditions are pretty poor.
Yeah, that's all received, thank you.
Traffic cop Gav Pearson is back on duty and on his way to a crash.
We've had a report of a collision on the A1 southbound. I'll be surprised to see what's actually happened, because the roads are pretty much, as you can see, they're empty. Horrible. You've got to have your wits about you. Well, I believe there's members of the public on scene who are saying that it might be a drink driver. Chris, are you near now?
Yes, mate, just approach him. Is it in the live lane, do you know?
It says so. I think it said it's been into Central Reservation, so it's going to be in lane 3.
10-4.
Traffic cop Chris Story is also en route to the crash scene.
It is minging. This road is horrendous. It does make it a lot more difficult to drive in. You've got to bring your speed. It's not uncommon for big pools of water to form. And if you hit one of them at any speed, really, you're looking at a disaster.
It should be just round here somewhere, so we're just looking out for any debris. It looks like they've done the hard shoulder. Oh, there's debris here. 2-0, we've got debris in lanes 1, 2 and 3. We're getting a rolling block put on. Get back in your car! Go back to your car! Go back to your car!
Coming up.
Hiya. Are you alright? How many people are in?
Just 3 of us.
3 of you.
A driver's past catches up with him.
I suspect that you've probably been telling me a bit of a porky about whether you use drugs or not, because it's indicated cannabis in your system.
What's it doing?
Positive on coke.
And a dangerous repeat offender.
The driver's been in that vehicle for the last 30 hours. A trailer on the back, 2 cars on the back, probably combined weight of 10 tonne.
You're driving unfit, under the influence of drugs.
How are we doing? We've got debris in lane 1, 2 and 3, haven't we? So If we can get it just swept off as much as we can, and then we can just get this up and back up.
Yeah, yeah, no
The
worries.
majority, I think, main majority is just onto our shoulders, is ricocheted off.
Yeah.
It's 2:30 in the morning, and traffic cops are trying to find out what caused a crash on the A1.
As I was coming along the A1, coming around the corner, the car had hit the central reservation as I was coming around the corner, and I saw it swerving to the side.
A passing motorist could be a vital witness.
So obviously I've got here, made sure there was okay at first. As the window came down, then obviously I rang 999.
Deputy review able to pass them.
What's the space called?
Right, who you on phone to?
The driver and passengers are unhurt.
Right. Just stay in the car, lads. We'll sort it out. Have you got your licence on you and everything? Just sit tight a minute, all right?
Where are they all?
They're in car.
They're in the car
They're
still?
in car.
I'll go
I'm just
straight to
going
them
to...
then.
That's the driver.
Right, I'll go
All
straight to them.
Yeah.
Whilst Gav deals with the debris, Chris speaks to the driver.
Hiya, are you all right? Are you driver, yeah? Do you want to just jump out and come have a seat in my car and we'll have a chat about what's happened? Is anybody hurt at all?
No, alhamdulillah, we're fine.
You're all fine, not hurt? Okay, no problem. Come and have a seat in my car, friend. What's happened?
Basically, I was driving and so I could see the car was kind of slipping.
Yeah.
So all I start remember, it literally car went flipped around.
Okay.
One of that side.
Yeah.
And then got to on this side.
Right.
So it wasn't really drivable, but you know.
You've managed to limp it off the road.
The side.
No problem. Who were in your car? Is it just mates or family members?
Yeah, just my mates. Yeah.
And where have you been? Just to go and see a friend?
Yeah.
No problem. And going back home now?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. I'm just going to conduct a couple of preliminary tests with you now. Basically, the first one's going to be for any alcohol that might be in your system, and the second for any drugs. Do you ever use any alcohol recently? No? And do you use any drugs at all? Perfect. Won't take too long.
Obviously, we've got a loss of control in lane 3. He's then hit the central reservation and spun out. He's done quite considerable amount of damage to his car to the stage that it's probably going to be a write-off. First report was made to us by a member of public. It appears that nobody in the subject car that's been in the collision has actually phoned the police. So I find that a little bit concerning, the fact that there's debris on the road, bits of their car, and it's putting other people in danger and they aren't phoned. He's obviously going to have some questions to answer, but we've got to think speed's going to be a factor in this as well. Speeds and probably inexperience at weather, because if you end up crashing on this, then you're going too fast for the conditions that you're driving in. Oh, how are we doing?
Negative breath, just waiting for drug.
You're lucky.
You're lucky no one's been hurt, yeah. Right, I'll come round and show you the test.
1 in 20 fatalities on our roads is caused by drug driving. It's now tested for in all crashes.
This test basically tests for cannabis and cocaine, okay? You can see for the cannabis one, there are 2 lines, so that's a positive indication for cannabis, okay? So I suspect that you've probably been telling me a bit of a porky about whether you use drugs or not, because it's indicated for cannabis in your system, all right? You smoked it last night? Okay. So at the moment you're under arrest on suspicion of driving a motor vehicle whilst over a specified limit for a drug, namely cannabis. Is there any drugs on you or in the vehicle that I'm going to find?
You can have a look.
Just be honest with me, because if there is some, we're going to find it.
I promise.
You don't know or there isn't?
I've got the grinder.
You've got a grinder?
Which is under the
Yeah.
steering on the left-hand side.
And is there anything in it, or it's an empty grinder and there's no drugs in the car? Right, okay, no problem.
It kind of boggles the mind as to what on earth was he thinking to travel down a water-soaked road with heavy rainfall in the dark at speed and have cannabis in your system. It leaves me speechless, to be honest. And then when you think about the fact that he's got passengers in the car, at what point is he going to accept responsibility here to say, is it safe for me to drive?
So now what's going to be happening is that we're going to be getting the occupants of the car, they're going down the services to make their own way back. Drivers in our custody. and we'll be given a blood sample and probably an interview at some point in the morning. I've been super lucky today. It's amazing that there haven't been any other vehicles involved in this. A black car on a dark stretch of road and being in a live lane would have been a recipe for disaster. You're not going to survive something like that.
Thank you very much. And like that.
Somebody else who's come up behind, pulled over because he was concerned, he's then phoned us and kind of restores your faith in humanity a little bit. He's done everything that they should have done, which is called the police to make sure everybody else is safe. So, my hat's off to him, he's done a good job. We got somebody going to call?
Yes, we'll make phone calls.
We'll make some phone calls.
There is a white VW Crafter that's northbound.
5 hours into the night shift at police control.
A video has been sent to control room today of this guy snorting white powder and then driving away.
Just it now, is it?
Yeah, like literally seconds ago, mate. Northbound.
10-4,
Traffic cops Rich Ellis and Rich Clark are the first officers to respond.
Just had some information passed to us, possibly a white VW Crafter van. The driver's been seen at some point today snorting white powder. So, sounds like a drug driver to me, does that?
It's come off cop's top, hasn't it?
That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, no, we're laden.
We respond regularly to tip-offs from members of the public. People loathe drink and drug drivers. They're a menace to society, a danger to road users and themselves.
Yeah, Crafter in white, flatbed, he's got a trailer on back, 2 cars on, and we think he's heading to the car plot at the
Excess
end.
speed, he's all over the road, we've got moving traffic offence. He's up to 50 mile an hour now, isn't he? Really?
Rich signals for the driver to pull over.
No, you're not. Right, let me tell you something. When you're told to stop by the police, listen, I'm speaking. When you're told to stop by the police, you pull over and stop. You don't just keep going and say, I'm going in there. You don't work like that, mate. So that's failing to stop. Pull it over there, please.
Can I go in my car back there?
Pull it over there, please.
It's not starting very well for him, is it? Bless him.
Going downhill, aren't we?
Aren't we just? 10-4.
Like to turn it off, please, sir. Thank you. Have you got your driving licence on you?
Of course I do.
Right.
Third time on trot. I'm enjoying this now.
Yeah, your driving isn't as it should be. That's what's caught our attention. And then when we've attempted to stop you, you didn't stop.
What, pull over in the middle of a road?
Not in the middle of the road. You pull over adjacent to the curb. My determination was that it was safe for you to stop. Okay, you failed to do that, so I had to then come alongside you. It's not for you to decide where you wish to stop. You just stop.
It's at the top of the street.
You just stop. We've got you excess speed at 50 mile an hour. All right. So I'm going to require you provide a breath test. I'm going to require that you undergo a drug wipe. All right.
So this is a drug wipe. Have you done one of these before?
Yeah.
Right, so I'm after you getting those 3 prongs there wet. Right, mate, this test takes 8 minutes. It tests for basic common street drugs, namely cannabis and cocaine. All right? You say you've done 1,000 miles today?
Nearly.
The driver's been in that vehicle for the last 30 hours, up and down the country, delivering and picking up cars. It's got registration plate missing and excess speed. We've done a drug wipe and we're just waiting to see what the results of that are.
Your driving's below standard, and you're not driving a motor vehicle on the road according to the law. As a motor trader, you should know that law. All right. And if you don't, you need to brush up on it. What's it doing?
Very faint there, look, just coming through now. See it? Oh yeah, he's got it. Mate, it's going to be on.
Look.
It's not at 8 minutes, probably at about 3, and it's coming up positive on coke. Pretty much what the information said, that he was seen snorting some white powder. A trail on the back, 2 cars on the back, probably combined weight 10 tonne.
I'll let you give him the good news, mate.
Provided a positive sample, cocaine.
Give up.
Yeah, mate, you're under arrest.
Are you taking the piss?
Nope. Have you had any?
No.
In the last 2 weeks?
Maybe in the last 2 weeks, yeah?
Yeah, so it can go
Stay
back
in your
20
system
days.
for some time, can't 20 days?
You're under arrest for that, all right? We'll take you down to Fulford, and there we're formally required to provide us with some blood.
Again.
Right, jump out, mate. He's been in that vehicle for over 1,000 miles today while under the influence of drugs. Take a seat, mate. I would expect most people to maybe get a latte or a Red Bull. It's not acceptable, we're not having it, and we will go to the far ends to find these people and bring them to justice.
This is ridiculous, this.
Coming up.
Been pulled over 6 times in the last 10 days.
Unrepentant and shameless.
I've had some information intelligence you've potentially been taking cocaine tonight.
Again, yeah.
The van driver is back on the road.
He's obviously in the motor trade, and he's obviously got no regard for road safety. Hello?
Suspect is going to go on to the 64.
Yeah, safe, we'll head up that way.
Just outside Leeds, traffic cop Matt Harvey is acting on reports that the van driver arrested 2 days ago is back on the road.
The lorry's about three minutes ahead of us. We've had an ANPR sighting. A previous report that the driver was seen to be snorting a white substance believed to be cocaine for a £5 note, and then get into a lorry and drive off. Can't be far away now. When I hear the report of someone snorting cocaine and driving a lorry, my initial thought is panic and horror. I mean, it's bad enough to be snorting cocaine driving any vehicle, but in particular, a van or a large vehicle. It's going to create massive implications if that vehicle is involved in an accident due to its size. This might be it. We've just been monitoring his driving at the moment, and he's been hitting the white line. So when we stop him, we'll speak to him, but potentially we'll be looking at doing another drugs wipe with him. He's previously had history for being violent. I mean, hopefully today he's doing none of those, but it just gives you a little bit of information, and it perhaps can alter the way you deal with somebody.
How are you? You all right? Turn it off for us, mate.
This is ridiculous, this.
What's ridiculous?
Been pulled over 6 times in the last, 10 days?
I've had some information intelligence you've potentially been taking cocaine tonight.
Once again, yeah.
Yeah? We've obviously been following you for a little distance down with that A1. Right. We've seen you veering onto white lines. This moment in time, we're asking for a specimen, a sample of saliva. You've done it before, haven't you?
Yeah.
If we just crack on and do that then, yeah?
Absolutely.
All right, obviously. Any cocaine, any cannabis, it'll come back and obviously tell us about it. Just put your tongue out for me. All right, mate.
What time did you set off?
I did a full day in office and then set off about 4.
When did you get arrested?
Oh, right. Friday, Wednesday, Monday, for traces.
Well, looking at his vehicle, he's obviously in the car transport or motor trade. So he may be of a mindset and now of, I've got to get as much as I possibly can done before I lose my licence, and he's obviously got no regard for road safety.
Right, matey. So control line there. We've also got a test line, you see, for cocaine. So you tested positive for cocaine, which basically means you're driving unfit under the influence of drugs. All right, buddy.
So we've got him stopped. We're going to take a further blood sample from him, and that'll be sent off, and that will give us the evidential reading.
The driver will face yet another night in custody and potentially a lengthy driving ban.
I've got a family, I've got 2 daughters, I've got a partner, and as I said, it worries me intently that my family are using these roads. That's why I make it sort of my personal mission to make sure we get as many of these drivers off the roads as we possibly can.
He's a repeat offender, using recreational controlled substances and driving big, heavy cars on vast road networks for long hours without a care in the world. And he's doing so over and over again, and he's getting caught doing it repeatedly. But that's not influencing his behaviour. His need for drugs is overriding any common sense that he might have. So he's not thinking straight. He ain't thinking straight. You ain't driving properly.
In this episode,
I ain't done anything. Whoa! Whoa! On the floor now. On the floor. Whoa! Down.
the young man who admitted having a bad cocaine habit was fined £300 and banned from the roads for 12 months for drug driving and no licence.
If you were driving like an idiot, you've had drugs on you, and your pupils are that wide, mate, I can't see the rest of your eyes. Well, so I suspect you to be under the influence of a drug.
No action was taken against him for any drug dealing offences.
So I'm going to give you the opportunity.
So I suspect that you've probably been telling me a bit of a porky about whether you use drugs or not, because it's indicated cannabis in your system.
The young driver, who Gav and Chris suspect lost control on a motorway due to being under the influence of cannabis,
is there any drugs on you or in the vehicle that I'm going to find?
Is currently released under investigation, pending the results of his evidential drugs test.
When you're told to stop by the police, you pull over and stop.
The van driver allegedly spotted snorting cocaine at the wheel of a 3-ton transporter, who tested positive at the roadside twice in the space of a week.
This is ridiculous, this.
What's ridiculous?
Been pulled over 6 times in the last, what, 7 days?
Have you?
Was prosecuted for drug driving and disqualified for 1 year. He was also ordered to pay fines and costs of over £200.
Look after you. All right. What you need, and I'll see you at custody. Got your bag in there, yeah?
No!
Right.
And after crashing into a line of parked cars and denying any involvement, the drunk woman pleaded guilty to driving 3.5 times over the limit.
I need to speak to my partner.
You can't at the moment. You can't.
She is just one of 5,000 drunk drivers who have reoffended in the last 4 years.
No! Can you get off me, please?
Sit yourself in the car.
At court, she received a 12-month community order, including 150 hours unpaid work, 25 days rehabilitation activity, and she must wear an alcohol abstinence tag for 120 days. She was also banned from the roads for 2.5 years.
I'm going to ask you again, who was driving that car?
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you?
No.
Right.
She claimed when she was arrested that her nephew had been driving, but upon going round to her house, we've found that she's got a CCTV camera outside her house pointing exactly where she parked her car up. So this is a car coming down the road at the minute. Looks like she's trying to open the door now, but probably because of the damage to the car, she can't open the door. It only looks like there's one person in that car. In fact, you can actually see her moving across now into the passenger seat. Sure enough, caught on her own CCTV getting out of the car and going and looking at the damage and putting her hands up to her head and saying, God, what have I done? Taking that chance and getting behind the wheel whilst drunk, you're a ticking time bomb. There's every chance that you're going to have a crash. Thankfully today, she's not seriously hurt somebody. It's really important that we get this kind of driver off our roads. They are a danger to everyone using our roads, as well as a danger to themselves.
And there's more new action from Traffic Cops next Monday night at 8. And you can radio for backup episodes from across the country. Traffic Cops is streaming every day on Pluto TV. New next tonight, making the link between a crashed car and its wayward occupants. A busy police night shift 999 in just a mo.